Hi, Kyla, Miss Howard. I'm so glad you could join me today for your course conference. So today we're going to discuss what I can expect to see in your classroom from you and your students during your observation tomorrow. Okay? So this will be your formal observation, and I will be coming in for a 45-minute lesson to observe you and your classroom and your students. So right now, what I'd like you to do is provide me with a clear vision of what to expect when I come in for your observation. What am I going to see you doing? What should I expect to see your students doing? And I would like you to explain to me step by step what that's going to look like. And I will ask you some guiding questions to learn more so I have a clear understanding of what I'm going to see when I come in. Okay, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. So, I think I sent you some of these questions beforehand, so you can go over them. So the main objectives for your lesson are going to be?
So you're coming in for 3 parts. So you're going to be seeing shared reading, our word work, and our interactive reading. So for shared reading, the objective is the students will recognize sound words in the book Not Now. And then for word work, the students will listen and differentiate between different R blend words and write the blend on their whiteboard. And then for interactive reading, the students will retell the story Christmas Tree Farm using beginning, middle, and end with hand motions.
Okay. And then where does this, what do you expect the students to know and be able to do after the lesson?
So for shared reading, again, the students are going to recognize the sound words in the book Not Now. And then for word work, they will be listening and differentiating between different R blend words and then writing the blend on their whiteboards. And then for interactive reading, they will retell the story Christmas Tree Farm using beginning, middle, and end.
Perfect. Oh, it sounds so fun. Where does this lesson fall in context to your unit plan?
So this lesson falls on day 3 of our unit plan. Students will have read through Not Now, and we will be focusing on identifying the sound words in both the main text and in illustrations. Our word work is focusing on recognizing the R blends, as the students will have been sounding out the blends for the first 2 days. So now we're working on the recognition. And then students will have also practiced retelling important events of the story. So then we're adding in modeling unimportant details and having the students kind of correct me.
Perfect. Oh, great. Okay. And then what are the prerequisite skills that students have to know in order to be successful in this lesson?
So introducing the R blends in order to be successful with our word work. And some of their prerequisite skills is previous work with L blends. So what we do with our L blends, we're doing again with our R blends so that they have the experience with that.
And describe the learning needs of students in this class, including those with disabilities, ELL, and how you plan to prepare to meet their needs.
So I have one student with in-class support, and I meet this student's needs by reteaching in a small group or on a one-on-one setting. I do have a student from the behavior program who is learning how to participate in a general education classroom. And so I meet with this student one-on-one to work on the skills that we're quickly moving through in whole group, because he is being newly integrated, so we're still learning how it works in our classroom.
Oh, good. And he'll be there the whole time?
Yes.
Very nice. And then how do you plan to differentiate for the different needs of your students?
So with my in-class support, they're coming in and they are working directly with the students that they are in there to support. So when the student is asked to participate, the paraprofessional is in there with them, and going up and helping them participate, to meet their needs.
Okay. And remind me who your in-class support is.
It's Alana Sargent.
Oh, very good. Okay. And are there any particular grouping structures in place?
So we're not utilizing grouping during the observation, but the last thing you will see are students dismissed to their station groups. And station groups were put together while taking into consideration their academic level, but also students who are going to mix well together personality-wise, and keeping my lower students together to help support them and help them grow in their confidence, and to not pair them with a student who is above level, who may make them feel like they are not quite where they are supposed to be.
Right. Oh, good. I like that. And how are you holding these students accountable? Do you have are you collecting work to hold them accountable?
So they are to turn in their work when they're done, and they turn it into the tray, and I check the tray, and if their work is not in there, then I go to the student and they have to either show me if their work is not finished, or sometimes they accidentally put it in their take-home folder, and so sometimes they have to get it out of their folder.
Yeah, they do. And how will you assess whether or not students meet the objectives for the lesson?
So how students are interacting, I watch and see from teacher observations. I feel like I have a very close community in my classroom, and we know each other well, and so I'm able to read the kids pretty well, and I know when they're struggling, or their confused expressions.
Right.
And I'm purposeful questioning to see if my students are able to answer some of the questions that are helping us reach our objective.
Oh, very good. Okay. And is there anything in particular you want me to be observing with regards to your areas of reinforcement, glow or refinement and grow?
I have been working really hard on giving immediate corrective feedback when in whole group lessons. I had a really hard time with letting things slide while we were in whole group and then later addressing it. But I feel like that was hindering the learning of the other students in my room during the lesson. And so I've really been working on giving immediate feedback. And I've also been working on the pacing of my lessons. I know the last time you observed, my pacing was a little bit slower. And so I've been working really hard on trying to make sure that we are moving through the lesson at an appropriate rate.
Oh, very good. I'm glad to hear you're working on that, because that's really important and it shows how you're growing. What are your plans for lesson closure and reflection? We end our morning meetings with the use of technology, for example.
We will revisit our objectives and give affirming or corrective feedback based on whether students feel they have met their objective for the lesson, or if they are still unsure if they've fully understood it. And students will turn to a partner and tell their partner the beginning, middle, and end of the story, so that they and their partner can show mastery, or they can share their perspectives and reflect.
Very good. Oh, I like those think pair shares. And are there any other special circumstances that I should be aware of before the announced observation?
So I mentioned that my student from the behavior program will be in my room, and so he will be in there with his paraprofessional, and then I also have another student on a point sheet, and their goals are following directions and keeping control of his body. So those are two things that we are really working hard on for him, and so the immediate feedback for him, earning his points, And so he's usually pretty close to me, so
Right.
I can
Oh,
keep
good.
him
The
on
proximity.
task.
That's
Yeah.
so good. I like to hear that. That's a strategy. It's working, I'm sure. Okay, well, I'm so excited to come and see you tomorrow.
I'm excited
And
to have you.
let me know if you have any questions, and otherwise I will be there. And I can't wait. Thank you.